Sub bass slaps. It says it right here. You know what else slaps? Giveaways. This week we're giving away a Zenz T Pro. You gotta like, subscribe, and comment, and then look for your name pinned to the top of comments next week. And if you've won, we'll send you a Zenz T Pro. Okay, let's get into the video.
I'm James Demer, the audio nomad. The dongle wars are raging in the portable audio community, and the NiPO A100 is a formidable entry. This was sent to me by the good folks at Musicteck for review, and I'm going to do that right now. In the world of audio dongles, I feel like there are three categories. You have your Apple dongle style dongles, which is really just a cable. It does have circuitry inside. It uses the amplifier of your phone, but it has a DAC chip built into it. It's very small, portable, easy to carry. They also tend to break, but it's a good solution. Then you have the sort of matchbook size and smaller dongles that tend to have a battery built into them, so they have some amplification, although generally it's not a lot. They have a variety of features, Bluetooth, some of them have EQing capabilities. They're made by companies like Qdelix, the Q5K, various other companies. VO has a number of them. And then you have this sort of, let's call it a deck of cards size, portable DAC amp dongle. And that's what this NiPO A100 is. It's pretty slick. And the reason you might want to use a DAC dongle of this size and sort of heft is because they can generally drive very difficult to drive headphones. And I think that's probably the biggest reason that you would use a card-sized DAC dongle. Another reason that you might use this is because they tend to have exceptionally long battery lives because the battery capacity is generally bigger. They can also squeeze more circuitry and components inside a unit like this that you can't fit into one of the smaller, either just a cable size DAC dongle or the matchbook size DAC dongles. Let's talk about what makes the NiPO A100 so special. For those of you that have watched my channel, you know that I'm a sucker for good aesthetics, and this NiPO A100 is probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing devices that I've gotten my hands on in a long time. From the packaging, which is this, I'd call it an Art Deco inspired box that's very simple, it's very clean, to the actual device itself, which is quite beautiful. The whole thing has a very, very pleasing aesthetic. The surface of the unit itself is a sort of a matte gold finish that has this galvanized metal texture. So if you've ever seen like galvanized sheet metal or galvanized metal poles, it kind of has like a flaky texture, and that's what this has. And then it has this hammered leather, or like I guess a baseball grain leather patch on the back. And in the case of the unit I received, it's orange. I believe it also comes in a blue or black. I like the orange. It's really nice. It's svelte. It's an elegant fit, and the way that it attaches to the phone is kind of genius. So if you have an iPhone with the MagSafe, this has a MagSafe magnet, and you can see it just attaches right to the phone. So it's super slick and makes the whole unit extremely portable. It actually stays in place really well. That magnet is quite strong. If you don't have an Apple phone, it does come with a variety of, well, two, by variety I mean two, different magnetic rings that you can put on your device so that you'd stick this magnet onto your phone or whatever you want to attach it to, and then this ring would magnetically hold the NiPO A100 to the magnet. Comes with two different dongles. You get a USB-C to USB-C and a USB-C to Lightning. In my case, I use the USB-C to Lightning because I still have an iPhone 13 Pro. And I found that there were never any connection issues. You know, sometimes that's a problem if it's a non-Apple product. Sometimes they just don't play well together. But in the case of the NiPO A100, it worked fantastically well. The NiPO A100 has pretty sparse controls. It has no digital display. There's no app or anything. It has an on-off button. It has a volume control. It has a gain adjustable button. And then you have either 3.5 input for 3.5 unbalanced in-ear monitors or headphones and 4.4 balanced. And then you have the USB-C connector right here. When you power the unit on, you know what the battery charge level is based on the color of the LED light that surrounds the USB-C. The USB-C, in my case, it's indicating orange, which means that the battery level is between 40% and 89%. If it's above 89%, it's a green light. And then if it's red, it's between 1 and 39%, and flashing red means it's going to shut down. Another feature that I love about the NiPO A100 is, well, it's not actually charging your phone, and I'm not looking for it to charge my phone. It's not relying on the phone's power to drive the in-ear monitors or the headphones. So when I'm using this NiPO A100, unlike, say, an Apple dongle or a dongle that requires amplification from the phone, my phone battery lasts a whole lot longer. So you could really walk around with this thing all day and listen to music and not drain your phone's battery. That's a huge plus for someone like me who's on the go. If you're on the go, this might be a feature that you really like. In my testing experience, I didn't find that it colored the sound in any appreciable way over, say, a regular Apple dongle. And that's something that I really like because, frankly, I'm happy with the way an Apple dongle sounds, and generally I'm listening to a source that's really good. The music I'm listening to and the IEM or headphone I'm listening to, I'm generally happy with. So while this doesn't have any EQ built-in capabilities in the form of an app or anything, the sound is very, very neutral. The sound floor of the NiPO A100 is exceptionally quiet, both in low gain mode and high gain mode. What I mean by that is when I was using the NiPO A100 but didn't actually have any music coming into it, but I gained up the volume, I didn't hear anything. You know, sometimes you hear like a noise floor, it's like a hiss or a slight static or something like that. The signal to noise ratio is 115 dB A-weighted, which is really hard for an engineer to design a product that has that high of a signal to noise ratio or that low of a noise floor. So if you're listening to tracks with a tremendous amount of dynamic range, say some classical music, and there are very, quiet parts to the track, you're not going to hear the sound of the amplifier coming through your headphones or your IEMs. I love that so much. It's hard to do, so basically, if you think about the way electronics are designed, this has sort of three components. It has the amplifier circuit, it has the DAC circuit, it also has a charging circuit, and all of these circuits need to work together on a board and not have any sort of crosstalk or noise between the three of them. While it seems easy, it's not, and NiPO did a really, really tremendous job. I'm an IEM guy at heart, but I do like listening to headphones, and it's fun to listen to them on the go, so I pulled some of my hardest to drive headphones out of the box. They happen to be a prototype planar headphone from an undisclosed manufacturer. They're really hard to drive. And I tried them with a NiPO A100 balanced, gain on high. The NiPO A100 was entirely capable of driving very hard to drive planar headphones that until now I frankly haven't been able to use without a desktop amplifier. And I believe it's 525 milliwatts at 32 ohms with essentially no distortion that I could hear. I mean, the distortion level is virtually nil, even at extremely high gain, while still maintaining a virtually silent noise floor. I don't know how they did it, but this little device is a real jewel. It's an electronic marvel. It sounds amazing. It's really, really fun to look at and hold. It's beautiful. It's super versatile. I think maybe the one complaint that I do have about it is you can't charge the battery and use it at the same time. So when the battery dies, you have to spend a couple hours charging it up. But with I want to say it's like a 13-hour battery life. Maybe it's a little bit less if you're using it at full power. That's okay. That's long enough for most international flights or full days of work. NiPO A100, you can pick it up at Musicteck. If you have any questions, they'll be glad to help you. We'll put a link in the show notes. I'm James Demer, the Audio Nomad. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by Linsoul.com. Linsoul sells IEMs, headphones, amplifiers, digital to analog converters, cables, really just about anything you could want for personal hi-fi or even home hi-fi. Their prices are great. The quality is exceptional, and their customer service is really second to none. Check them out in the link below.